Nelson Sexton, who is the founder of Smartly Dressed Games, and is responsible for creating Unturned, a game that is popular on Steam that consistently gets 50,000 concurrent players, putting it in the top 20 games on Steam. How did he get to this point? On the 26th of July 2009, Nelson would join Roblox under the alias Zach, where he would learn Roblox coding language Lua and create quite a few games in the process, some being Tornado, Counter-Strike Fusion, Modern Bloxsphere, Craft Mine, Row House and Next Gen Combat, with a lot of test demos of ideas and tie-ins with other games or movies like Doctor Who or Team Fortress 2. This would help him develop his skills of coding and building, which would prove useful for his next endeavour. On January 1st, 2013, a user by the name of Deadzone Zach would create his account and then on the same day start working on a game called Deadzone, which is, the account named after, which is an apocalypse-based game where you had to find items to survive, that being building materials, guns that can be modified, and the game features like a safe zone where you can store your precious items that you don't want to lose, because the game has PvP, so when another player kills you, they can loot what you had on you, and that's lost forever. The game released to great success, gathering up to 5 million plays, with it getting roughly 1,000 concurrent players, which in 2013 was quite impressive and sat often at the front of the page of Roblox. But that doesn't mean it wasn't met with some backlash, as at the time there was another game doing a similar thing as Deadzone called Apocalypse Rising, with some of the comments like "Deadzone equals ripoff of AR, hashtag fully body trained." It's a copy of Apocalypse Rising. You are a copy of Apocalypse Rising. But then, what are the differences between both games? What makes them unique? Well, Apocalypse Rising is more slow paced, with you spawning into the world, finding items in buildings that you would like in any popular battle royale genre, with the inclusions of cars, modifications to help improve your guns, similar to Deadzone. But the difference with Deadzone is that it offers like a safe zone as well on top of it, so if you have like some important loot you want to keep safe, you can just store it in that safe zone, and all the good loot you find, so then when you play it again you can grab that loot and go back in. So it's like offering like a safety net sort of, so that you at least got some loot to fall back on, whereas Apocalypse Rising, once you're dead, you've lost it all. That wouldn't stop the game from growing, as on the 13th of February 2013, a month after the game was created, Roblox published a video on their channel reviewing the game, giving it more exposure to a wider audience. The review gives a decent overlook on what the game is like and how it is similar to Apocalypse Rising, but in their own ways. Sometime around July 2013, the holder account for Battlefield and Deadzone were hacked, causing the games to become uncopylocked, meaning any user on Roblox can take a copy of the games for themselves and upload it to Roblox, which a lot of people did, causing there to be many clones of Deadzone. With the games you spent a lot of time working on just being uncopylocked for anyone to take, Nelson would later go on to the Roblox forums to post this: "I am quitting Roblox because it's a ridiculous system. The Roblox staff does whatever they can do to help their favourite players, but they don't fix fundamental bugs that stop people from making amazing things. Throughout the 5 years that I've been making on this site, Roblox has consistently broken games through updates and always has had hacks, allowing users to steal places and insert scripts. These exploits should have been on the top of their list to fix, yet they're still occurring today. It does not seem worth it to me to make games when other people will eventually steal them, claim them as their own, and everyone will fall for it." But little did he know, this was a blessing in disguise. After getting nowhere with Roblox support system not helping him out getting his games back and removing all the copies of Deadzone, what happened to Nelson? Well, he moved over to Unity. Well, sort of. He decided to make a browser game, and that was Unturned, a successor to Deadzone, so most of its features were practically still the same, but in a browser version, just more polished up with extra features as well. The game had this pixel-like design similar to Minecraft and Terraria, and it was very difficult to play, with the zombies feeling broken at times, with them getting attracted to you from no matter what, behind walls or from afar, and then just never stop following you. Even if you run out of stamina, the hard will just catch up to you and just absolutely obliterate you, and it just feels so jarring to play with those main issues. But a lot of the game is there, like the hunger, the health, the stamina, the inventory system, and I couldn't get crafting to work, but there was crafting. It's just very bare bones in terms of like how it looks with like the user interface, but it does get the job done, and it's a working point for later builds of the game to build on. In 2014, the browser version of the game was discontinued and instead moved over to Steam in the early access after being accepted from the Greenlight program, which is now defunct. The game was like the browser version, but felt a little bit more better. Like the zombies weren't as like brutal to you, I would say. Like they just weren't like latching onto you no matter what. They had a bit of AI to them, like behind walls they weren't as attracted to you, as well as it gives you like a much closer distance until they notice you. As well as I noticed that a lot more of the buildings around the map felt a lot more detailed as towards the 2013 browser version. There weren't as much detail towards buildings and how they looked. As well as the inventory had a new change in layout, as well as the UI still looking about the same, but had a lot more options towards it, expanding on what was already there. It still had some issues, like I said, zombies were still kind of broken. Like even if you get a bunch of hards, they will follow you no matter what until the end of the earth. As well as they are still a bit janky. Like when you try and hit them, they doesn't really register sometimes. Or that's just me being bad. Could be both. And they land a couple of hits in, which is fair play, but it's not as brutal as the 2013 version. So where are the games at now? Well, Unturned is currently getting more and more popular by each day by looking at the statistics on SteamDB, as well as receiving constant bi-weekly updates to the game, and it also having a giant modding scene giving more life to the game and replayability, and growing a giant community towards it, as well as making a sequel to Unturned, which is more like an update, but it's classed as Unturned 2, so it's close enough. But it's been postponed due to the creator, Nelson Sexton, having childhood trauma with him going to post on the Unturned's forum. Over the past several months, more details have slowly come to light. It seems that I have a large memory gaps until 2017 to 2018 when I moved out on my own, and my memory gradually improves from then on forward. Trying to process everything that is coming up has been a big focus over the years so far. I have been to a few therapists over this period, and up to about a dozen sessions now. I am an optimistic for improving mental health to benefit the game dev. That being said, I think that in order to streamline the work side of life or increase personal side, I need to cut everything back to only developing Unturned 3.0, which is the main branch of Unturned, and not Unturned 2, which is classed as 4.0. What about Apocalypse Rising? Well, after that game came out many years ago, it got a sequel that was in paid beta for a few years until recently. It's now able to be played for free and feels more polished to what the original was like, with the UI and how the map looks. Feels more like a full-fledged game with how it looks, as well as it feeling pretty good to play, as the guns feel nice to shoot and everything feels more user-friendly with like how the numbers pop up on your screen to show how much damage you did to a other player, as well as having like these big blocks of weapons to show how much space it would take, similar to like how Tarkov does their inventory, if you get my idea. I personally think it's a pretty good game, and I think you should check it out, and I'll leave a link in the description if you want to give it a try. It's on Roblox. I hope you like this video. It's a bit different than what I usually do, but it's still similar, as I did this with music, albums and stuff like that, going into history, but I wanted to do it with like games as well, and then just ramble, sorta. It's like provide information, but also like give like reasons and stuff like that. Hopefully it's fine. I want to probably do more of this in the future if you would like it, and I also want to do like a long length video, probably like half an hour to like an hour long, of like my like a genre maybe of like a bunch of games I love and can go on about and go give more detail. But if you want to see that, just let me know and I'll craft it. It might take me forever, but whatever. I would love to do it. So yeah, if you like the video, just feel free to like it, if not, dislike it, and I'll see you some other time.